And welcome back to my channel. Unless you're new here, and then just welcome. My name is Rusty, and this is my channel where I talk about my favorite movies, mostly horror, and my favorite music, mostly metal. And welcome to my August 2025 update. Get this done before the next month begins. And as usual, we're going to start with music and DVDs. So I picked up 2 CDs this month. 2 of my favorite bands of all time have released new music, and that is, of course, Bush. I Beat Loneliness. This is absolutely fantastic. Ever since I've been a lifelong fan of Bush. They did have a rough period for a few years in the middle, and that was when he got involved with that skank, that slag Gwen Stefani. He got rid of her, or vice versa, whatever. Best thing that ever happened to him. It was after then, because, those couple of albums that they made when he was with her were very radio-ish and just... It was, only a couple songs on each was very good. So yeah, it was kind of disappointing. But then he came back. After he got rid of her, they sort of revigored. He became a student of the lead singer of Helmet, who guided them through a solo project. And then the guitarist from Helmet joined Bush formerly. Their music stayed the same, but with a more Helmet type sound. And they have been great ever since. Their last few albums have been phenomenal. And I Beat Loneliness is just that. It is absolutely phenomenal from beginning to end. And I am very, very glad that they're still making music and that their music is so good. The second being Chevelle. I discovered Chevelle as a little skate punk at the skating park when they first came out with their first album. And I have been a lifelong fan of theirs ever since as well. This is their new album. Bright as Blasphemy. They have never failed to be perfect, and their sound hasn't changed very much, which is what I like in a band. I like them to stay the way that I fell in love with them. So yeah, that's Bush's new album, I Beat Loneliness, and Chevelle's Bright as Blasphemy. Very, very glad that they're still making music. And moving on, we start with, of course, DVDs. I grabbed this little, usually the only place I buy DVDs is like Hamilton Books, because you can get them. And this is I haven't watched it yet, but I just grabbed it from my Shark collection. See if it's any good. Will it be? Probably not. And it's also too short, but, for $1.95, what can you do? I grabbed this little Western movie. I do like Westerns. The Deputy's Wife. Little Western drama with lots of gun boom booms. So this was a little mistake in that I clicked the button twice. And that could cause you some problems, yeah? I mean, just imagine if that had been a 1995 one. So I'm not crying about it because it was only $1.95. So when that came, I was like, why do I have 2 copies of this? And it was because I obviously clicked the button twice, but I'm sure I can find someone to give it to. I really wanted to find a Blu-ray of this. This is from Massacre Films, and I really loved Beaten to Death. And, they're kind of a hardcore studio, a hardcore boutique. And I really wanted to get a Blu-ray of this, but I couldn't find one. So I had to settle for the DVD of Dead American Woman. Hunt Her, Kill Her, and Beaten to Death were fantastic. So I wish they would be a little bit more forthcoming with Blu-rays, but at least I got those two, and at least I have this, even if it's on DVD. So we'll move on to some regular movies. I don't think any of these are upgrades, but we'll move on to a few regular movies. This is a really good movie, and it was actually a magnet film that worked, which is like a 50-50 chance. But this one worked. This was really good. 12 Hours, 4 Killers, One Way Out. Great twist ending. Really good action. It's called Tiger House. And I had a huge amount of fun with this movie. I do really like magnet when they work. I picked up the remaster. I've been collecting the original Star Trek movies, the remastered versions. I've got so much Star Trek. So this is probably like the 4th release of this movie, like all of them that I have. But I wanted to go ahead and get them upgraded to the newest remastered version. So this month we got The Search for Spock. This is the Tobe Hooper Mortuary. It's not a sequel or a remake of the other Mortuary, but I like it. So I'm glad to finally have it. This was an upgrade. I did have the DVD. See, there it is. So this was an upgrade. This was an upgrade as well. I really love him. And I remember this movie. It was very funny. I'm not really big on comedy, so when I do find comedies that I do like to have them. And this was pretty hilarious. And like I said, I have a thing for him. This is a replacement. When I did my video to Train to Busan, I noticed that there was some lag and freeze in the middle of my movie, my Blu-ray. So I couldn't see anything wrong with it, but obviously I tried it many times, and so I ended up buying a new copy to make sure I had one that did not have any errors on it. This is another comedy. I've seen a trailer for it, and it's one of those wild, wacky 80s, 90s kind of crazy movies. And that's Mario Van Peebles, for God's sake. But this is kind of naughty, a little one of those naughty teen sex movies, sex comedies, and this one's actually funny to me, and yeah, so I wanted it. A little drama, a little family drama from the guy who made American History X. It's called Embattled, about UFC fighters. A father and son UFC fighters and their, thing. This is going, I put these two in here to make you laugh at me. We all have holes in our movie knowledge, and this was mine. I didn't even pay attention to this when I saw it. I grabbed it. Both of these, actually. I wanted to upgrade Ben-Hur from my DVD, and I wanted to upgrade Footloose. So I grabbed this, and I grabbed Ben-Hur, both of these. And when the package came and I opened it, I was like, oh, Footloose, I get to see Footloose. And the first thing that I noticed, I was like, well, I don't know, did they change the cover? And then it slowly dawned on me that this was not Footloose, that this was a fucking remake. And I was like, I didn't know there was a remake. I honestly did not know there was a remake to Footloose. And I'm like, what the fuck? Who the fuck remade Footloose? And who the fuck is these people? And what the fuck is this? Now, I have watched it and I did not like it. I liked a few scenes. The Goofy scene where the guy, I was going to do a video comparing the two, you know, so I could rant, but the music in this sucked. I mean, it sucked. Like, I could not believe how terrible the music in this movie was. Like I said, there were 3 scenes, I think. The opening, the ending, and the goofy, you know, where the goofy guy learns to dance. They did make me smile and they did laugh, but other than that, aside from this chick with the heavy metal boy hair, I like her hair, but aside from that, this was like horrible. It was a horrible, mostly because the music was horrible. I skipped through so much of the movie because the music was so terrible. Now, that was the same kind of thing that happened with this. So I'm sitting there and I'm then looking at this, right? And I'm like, okay, I finally got Ben-Hur to go with, you know, the 10 Commandments. And I was like, well, where's Charlton Heston, right? And I like turn it over and I see fucking Morgan Freeman. And I'm like, wait a second. Morgan Freeman? Morgan Freeman? I don't remember Morgan Freeman and Ben-Hur. Wait, did they fucking remake Ben-Hur? What the fuck? How did I do that twice in one movie order? So I find out that this is a fucking remake of Ben-Hur because I was like, Morgan Freeman would have been, what, 5 when the original Ben-Hur came out? I'm like, this is crazy. So yeah, laugh at me. I bought... This one, though, is really good. It's a really good movie. That is awful. So I then, of course, you know what I had to do? I had to turn around and go buy the real Ben-Hur and the real Footloose. So just wanted you to know that collectors like myself, we can make really stupid mistakes as well. And that was a mistake. For lack of knowledge. I just didn't know. So continuing on with some regular movies, What Keeps You Alive from IFC Midnight. I picked that up. I have already done a video on this. I absolutely loved this movie. It was phenomenal. Picked up, I like medieval movies. This is Ironclad, Battle for Blood. I love my little medieval castle siege movies. I seen this a while back, Lucas Haas, Dark Was the Night. This was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. A nice little woodsy thriller. Picked up a Bruce Willis movie that I didn't have called Vice with Bruce Willis and Thomas Jane, one of his older movies. Now this is the Frank Darabont collection. Now, how this occurred was I was looking at my Sam Rockwell movies and realized that I did not have the Green Mile. I had it on DVD and I thought, man, I'd like to upgrade the Green Mile. So I go and I look and there's like it was like $14, you know, brand new to get the Green Mile. And then I ran across this. It's the exact same issue of the Green Mile, but it's Spanish language packaging. That's all. The movie, of course, is the exact same transfer and it's the exact same movie. It's just made for, I guess, a Latino market. So it's got Spanish packaging. Well, this was $6.99 and you get, Shawshank Redemption, which I did not need because I have the newest remaster of that. Something called The Majestic. I've never seen that. I don't really know. Probably don't care. And of course it had the Green Mile. So this was $7. I've already watched it. It's absolutely perfect. So this was my little cheap way of getting the Green Mile in its newest master, in its newest transfer on Blu-ray and upgrade my DVD while only paying $7 instead of $14 to buy it by itself. So, yeah. Poor people have to know how to shop correctly to get what they want. So moving on, we have a couple of steelbooks. I got the steelbook for The Italian Job. It's one of my favorite little crime heist movies. And so I've already got it on Blu-ray. But this was one of the cool little steel, you know, it's like World War Z. And it's from that series of metallic steelbooks. So I saw that and I'm like, yeah, I'll get that. And then I get David Cronenberg's Shivers. This is the new steelbook with the new master of Shivers that Lionsgate put out. So yeah, they finally made a new master, a new transfer of Shivers. So yeah, I got both of those steelbooks for the steelbook collection. And now I finally have Shivers on Blu-ray. Moving on to some newer releases, there is Rusty's Punishment for not knowing there was a Footloose a Footloose remake. So I had to go and immediately, of course, get the Blu-ray of the original Footloose, which just literally made me cry because I'm so happy watching this movie and Kevin Bacon. So, yeah, I got to get the 45th or whatever it says, 40th anniversary. And yeah, I just bought this package. You got the digital code and the Blu-ray, so that was good. Sinners, which I've already done a video on. Fantastic movie. Very glad to have it. Final Destination Bloodlines to go with my Final Destination franchise. I love all of the Final Destinations. I'm not, a bitch like that. This is a little movie I'd seen a preview to from Luce Bracey, and I really liked the trailer. I liked the way it looked. I liked the storyline. And so yeah, I picked it up. Mercy Road. And this is one of Mila Jovovich's newest movies. This is Breathe, post-apocalyptic. It's Mila. I like it. And this is Subservience from Megan Fox, also of which I have just done a video on right before this one. So, yeah. So those are some newer movies that have come out that I grabbed. And now we're going to move on to some boutiques. This is Phantasm 1 and 2. This is the newest remaster of it. It comes with a fantastic full-size movie poster. Not just a small one like comes in the MVD Rewind collection, but this is a full-size wall poster, and you can choose it's double-sided, so you can choose whichever picture that you want on it. So that is fantastic. Now I just have to find a frame for it. So, although I have all the Phantasm movies on DVD, this finally allowed me to upgrade it to Blu-ray. I have always wanted this. I kept putting off getting this because the Blu-ray itself, the transfer is kind of mediocre, according to Blu-ray.com. So I kept putting it off, but I couldn't wait any longer. There is no other Blu-ray release for this. Toy Soldiers is one of my favorite Academy movies, like Taps, I absolutely love this movie with Will Wheaton and the dude from Lord of the Rings, and it's got Lou Gossett Jr. in it, about a terrorist takeover of a military academy where the rich people send the bad boys. And yeah, so I really, really love this movie, and I'm very glad to have this finally in my collection. A Dog Called Vengeance. I just did a video on this. This is from 1977. It stars the guy who plays Father Karras in Exorcist. It's an absolutely fantastic movie. I really highly enjoyed this movie, and I'm very glad to have it. It is Severance. This is I just saw this and I'm like, well, that's got to be cheesy as fuck. Like from the early 70s. It's called The Night Train Murders. I believe it's got a couple of other names. Supposedly more reprehensible than Last House on the Left, but I doubt it. This is from Blue Underground. It's from like the mid-70s, early 70s. So we'll see. This is from Olive Films. I try to pick up Olive Films when I can. It's called Despair. It's a little weird sci-fi horror kind of thing. Drama horror. This is from Scream Factory. This is Wildling with Brad Dourif and Liv Tyler. It's a little werewolf movie. Well, werewolf-ish movie. It's going to be in my next batch of reviews. And this is an 80s drama with Dennis Hopper, Burt Young, and Eric Roberts. This is Blood Red. It's a crime drama, sort of mafia style from the 80s. So I really was glad to get that. And finally, I first found out about these boutiques through an article on a new remaster of All the Boys Love Mandy Lane. Now, as I've said before, All the Boys Love Mandy Lane is one of my top 20 horror films of all time. I love that fucking movie. The cinematography, everything about that movie. So I was very excited, and then I found out that it was an Australian boutique that was getting it, that was doing it. And that disappointed me because, you know, we're in America, it's North America, not Australia. So, but then I found out that these boutiques, these three boutiques, the major three boutiques in Australia, film boutiques, are Via Vision, Umbrella, and Imprint. And that is who had done the Mandy Lane one. So I bought it and I was thrilled to death. I ended up like writing one of my places that I, you know, usually get most of my movies from. And I even asked them if they could like distribute. Was there a possibility? And I actually helped us collectors because they wrote me back and told me that they had looked into the matter and would be carrying these boutiques. So I now have access to, well, some of their catalog. And these are, you know, because the Australian boutiques, especially Umbrella and Imprint, and then a lot of other European boutiques, they get a lot of movies that the studios will not release on Blu-ray over here on North America because they want to take all of your money in streaming services. They don't want you to do that, whereas streaming services are a lot less profitable because they are a lot more controlled and there's a lot more consumer protections in Europe and Australia. So streaming services cannot prey on consumers the way they can in the United States. So a lot of these studios know the only way to get money out of Europe and Australia is to release physical. So they allow a lot of movies that do not get released in America on Blu-ray to be released overseas in Blu-ray. And these boutiques have taken advantage of that. And they do make their movies region free, even if it says differently on the box for legal purposes. So I've got some coming in the next update as well. So I was very, very happy. This is Severance. This is from Umbrella. This is Severance with Danny Dyer. For fans of Shaun of the Dead, An American Werewolf in London, this is one of my favorite slashers of all time. I have the DVD, which you can get as well, but I so wanted it on Blu-ray, and now to finally have it on Blu-ray, region-free, beautiful new transfer. And yes, so I've got Severance on Blu-ray now because Pop Market now carries a great deal of Australian imports from these 3 boutiques. So this is Umbrella's remaster of Severance, and I am so thrilled to have this. This is Umbrella's remaster of Creep, not the found footage movie. I did a video on this quite a while back. This is a British horror movie, and I had it on DVD, and of course there is no, there's Region B, Region 2 Blu-rays from England, but, unless you have a region-free player, you're fucked. But finally, Umbrella did a remaster of Creep. And so I get to have that. Very, very cool. This is Imprint. This is a Dennis Quaid movie. In his younger days. This is Savior. It's a little war movie. And I'm very, very glad to have it. I like Imprint's packaging as well. They do the side slips. So I'm very, very glad to have that. I'm so glad that a company that I get most of my movies from has now started carrying a pretty good selection of these 3 Australian boutiques, because you can find a lot of movies that are not available in North America, such as Savior and Creep and Severance and quite a few others. So yes, I got 2 Umbrellas and 1 Imprint. They will go with Mandy Lane. And like I said, I've got 3 or 4 more that I've already bought and received that will be in the next update. So that's it. My Australian updates, region free, feel safe to buy them. Pop Market does not sell movies that will not play. So in North America, they are a North American company. So they will not carry movies that don't play on a North American Blu-ray player. So yeah, love it, love it, love it. And there you go. Thank you very much for your time. Let me know if you have any of these, want any of these, think any of these are cool, have any of these yourself, or any other thoughts you may have. And I will see you in the next batch that I do. And yeah, hopefully I'll get that USB hub and be able to record on my old computer. But I tested this and it sounds like you can hear me, so everything should be fine. I will see you in the next thing I do. Love you, miss you. Bye-bye. Always remember and never forget, you're a very, very special person. Let me know what you think about any of these upgrades. Remember to support physical media. And that includes some boutiques that do region free. So you can feel safe to buy them. Umbrella and Imprint are fantastic Blu-rays. Fantastic Blu-ray boutiques. And now there are outlets that are beginning to carry them, so you can get them for yourself. Bye-bye. See you in the next batch of films.